What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD Mobile video. So today is going to be a review for the newly added Ak47 Icb rifle, which is basically the new secret cache legendary that was released for Season 5. So just in case you guys don't know, a little brief history for the Icb rifle. It was originally shown in Black Ops Cold War. I think it was like some sort of... It might have been a pre-order bonus, but I could be wrong about that. It might have been one of the very first Mastercraft to be released for Cold War, and it's finally made its way into basically Call of Duty Mobile. I will say this though, it is a little bit weird that they consider this to be a minor legendary within the secret cache, basically replacing the Surge Baton, which if anything, this should probably be a major legendary skin. It may not have the best effects in the world, but it does have a unique weapon inspect animation that was actually also present in Black Ops Cold War, so I don't understand why this wasn't actually considered to be a major legendary skin. Another weird thing about the situation is that this kind of confirms that they're kind of doing away with the whole legacy brand of weapons. If you guys don't remember, the legacy was like this rarity that was in between legendary and mythic, where I think like only 2 weapons so far have ever received that kind of branding, and they were kind of a little more high quality. They had tracer rounds, they had different weapon inspects, but other than that, there was nothing really else to them. But COD Mobile hasn't really added any of these legacy skins since, I guess, the Mac 10. But I can guarantee you this, if Secret Cache did not exist in COD Mobile right now, this probably would have been a legacy skin. The legacy rarity was mainly only reserved for Mastercrafts that were in Black Ops Cold War and, you know, made into, I guess, legendary-ish type of skins for COD Mobile. It seems to be kind of a forgotten rarity, and honestly, in a business standpoint, I kind of don't blame COD Mobile for, I guess, stopping the release of these types of skins, because you're paying for a lot of features that are in Mythics basically for free. I mean, well, not for free, but like you're basically paying a lot less to get the same features that would normally cost a lot more in a Mythic skin. And to be honest, if I was one to, you know, actually decide what feature legendary skins should have, I think honestly every legendary skin should have tracer rounds. They don't have to have weapon inspects, but at least give them tracer rounds, you know, depending on the color of the theme or whatever. I always thought it was a pretty stupid business practice to have us pay for tracer rounds, which is something, let's be honest, in most other Call of Duty games, specifically the mainline ones, Mastercrafts usually cost like what, $24, $25? And you get like just a completely different looking gun with tracers, different weapon specs, all that stuff, which is like a very small fraction of what we have to pay here in COD Mobile. But I'm not going to complain about it too much here, given that this is a free skin. And I actually wasn't really thinking I was going to get this very early on, but I don't know, COD Mobile was doing like this weird thing where they were just basically mailing us all these different types of shards for whatever reason. I don't know what it was even for, even to this day. But yeah, I received like a lot of minor legendary shards, and I ended up getting this pretty fast. And I would assume that a lot of you guys also had that happen to you, where you got refunded some minor or major legendary shards. I don't know why that happened. But again, I'm not complaining. It's free shards and we could use that for whatever comes next. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But I would be lying to you if I told you that they did not make this really hard to get at all. If anything, most of the players, I would say, probably got this gun halfway through within the first few weeks. And honestly, if anything, this kind of made the season a little bit stale, mainly because, you know, even when it came to the Lunar Tier camo, you were like in the very first day that came out, I got like over 40 of those camos. Like they made everything really fast to grind, which kind of killed the entire motivation to play the entire season. And honestly, that's why I've been playing on my Switch 2 a lot more, because there's just nothing to do right now. But I do want to touch upon the features of this weapon. So one of the biggest prominent features for this legendary, besides the unique inspection, is actually the iron sight. And I know this one got a lot of people's attention because, again, some people are very familiar with this skin even before it came out in this game. The iron sight was a lot more different. It was much more of a basic AK-47 sight. But knowing that it's COD Mobile, they did have to improve it to make it more appealing to the player base. And I would say they actually did a pretty good job. And like I said, they are following this weird trend where they're kind of putting like a little red dot on top of the iron sight spike. Again, like they seem to be following this trend a lot, and I'm really starting to believe that this is going to be an ongoing thing from now on. However, of course, this cannot be a normal blueprint review without talking about the camo coverage, which is something that I do get a lot of these skins for in the first place. Aside from Diamond Borealis, this camo coverage is not really that great. It only covers really the bottom of the weapon and maybe, I guess, the suppressor at this point with this new update, but it's nothing that special. But I will say the diamond coverage on this weapon is actually pretty superb. Despite it not having a lot of diamond studs around the weapon, but like when it's on the bottom part, they still did a pretty good job in like having all of them at least equally sized properly so that it does kind of shine pretty well. So I will give them props for that. But anyways, that's going to be my review for the ICB rifle. Again, it's nothing too special. If anything, this probably could have been a legacy skin, but the secret cache came out, so of course plans have changed. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.